Hello everyone and welcome to the Refresh Step where you recover yourself for the main step. I'm the hottest battler in the UK and I'm in the Battlespace English Wiki. Ayumu Seiki. That was fucking cringe. And I'm your host for today, tomorrow, and the foreseeable future, Theodore Liu. So, how are you doing, Theo?
So Ayumu, you think
What?
you are cringe, but today I will be the big cringe because I have been reborn.
You have been reborn. What? Did someone flip over your house or something?
Yes. We all play battle. We both play Battle Spirits, so we know how the rebirth mechanic works. So I use money to basically some rebirth cards. You have to pay course and then they can flip. So basically, just like that, I paid some course, which are my hard-earned euros, to get a better microphone. I hope.
Okay.
Hopefully
doesn't
now.
Sound different to me.
Exactly. Hopefully now that if you are listening to this while you are going to work or something, or jogging or whatever you are doing, you like doing in your meantime while you are listening to a podcast. Hopefully now we will sound much better.
You better be jogging now. I'll be watching you. Well, I just say I began jogging like a few weeks ago, and then I just like stopped again because I twisted my ankle while playing on the DDR.
Yeah, that's painful.
I ought to start back again, but you see, if you're living in Europe, then you know that there's like a cold storm right now, and it's fucking snowing in March. It's March. It's snowing at noon. How?
Exactly.
So now you know what? Fuck this, man. It's a minus 2 degrees, and I ain't gonna freeze my legs in the morning.
Yeah, thank goodness here. I mean, my place is a little bit in the south, and yeah, we don't really get that much snow. So it's like there was 1 in 3 chances that every year we will get snow, and this year we kind of get the SSR. So at least we get like 1 day of snow.
Yeah. I mean, in the UK, it's not like it's snowing enough that like you have to what's the word? Shuffle the snows and everything like that. I mean, not as much as Canada. It's not like them,
definitely.
but like, it's cold. That's the thing. Actually, no, cold is fine. It's windy.
Yeah.
It's fucking windy in the UK. I'm living in the mountains. I mean, it's still not as much mountains as Edinburgh, but Newcastle is still pretty hilly in some places.
Yeah, made sense because I think we live in the valley, in the Ruhr Valley. Yeah, I think we call the area Ruhr Valley.
Good for you.
But yeah, it's there's lots of rivers in Germany, so much that actually like your general area is always defined by which river you are close with. Like my place is close to the Rhine River, and then like the other big city like Frankfurt, their thing is they are close to the Main River, Main. So it's a Main River. So that's why the German name is Frankfurt am Main. So it's the Frankfurt by the Main River.
Interesting.
And it's beautiful.
Interesting. Yeah, I ought to understand some of the English names for like the places as well, because I mean, for example, over here in Newcastle, we always just call it Newcastle, but actually, the full name is called Newcastle upon Tyne. And I've been living here for like 4 years by now. I actually still don't know why it's named that way. I'm just too lazy to Google. And then the county it is in is called Tyne and Wear. And again, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I know. Speaking of that, I just googled like, because whenever I go home, like I always pass like by the main station. There is this one tram stop that is called the König Heinrichplatz. So it's like the King Henry's street kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And then because when I heard the King Henry, when I hear the Heinrich, like the thing that I associated with the closest is actually one of the warship of the German Empire, which is featured in Azure Lane, of course. That's where my battleship knowledge came from. So it was from the heavy cruiser Prince Heinrich. And then when I tried to look for the König Heinrich in Google, they actually gives King Henry, which is there's a lot of Henry in Europe. There's the King Henry of England. Like I think one of the King Henry in Germany, like the King Henry VII, his name, so the numbering for his name was put in brackets because I think he coincides with another Henry that was crowned first, like the Henry of Belgium, if I'm not wrong. Like he's also Henry VII. So to avoid mistaking these two, like his name was put in brackets somehow when in writing.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Like they needed to mix some more names, man. They can't just be Henry and George all the time, or Mary, or Elizabeth or Victoria. You know,
exactly.
we always get these names.
Mm.
And then I also just Googled, and Newcastle is called Newcastle upon Tyne because the river that is on is called River Tyne, and I actually never knew that's the name of the river. So Newcastle upon Tyne literally means a new castle on the River Tyne.
Ooh.
It's literally just that, and I never knew. You can see how bad I was at geography, and then I even said I want to be an archaeologist. God damn.
But yeah, do you really need to know geography though?
I mean, it's archaeology, so I mean, all those periods of times that every child had when they are reading dinosaur books, and I thought it would be really cool to try to dig up some fossils.
Yeah.
Or some reptile shit that has been fossilized into hollow rocks. But yeah.
Understandable.
But yeah, I got into geography back in high school. Actually, I mean, it wasn't my choice. Like we had to learn geography, and then there was this part on human geography, and I instantly dropped that. Like, no, I wanna drill into some rocks. Okay, I don't wanna count how many degenerates there are in a city. So yeah, I dropped geography, and I hated it.
But yeah, I am also in the science stream because of geography. Basically, no, it's because of economy. But yeah, and actually the story about the King Henry, actually it is also not the King Henry VII of Germany. It was the King Henry I of Germany. Because although at that time, like the German Empire is not doesn't exactly exist yet. So like even after his reign, I think it still took some time until the German Empire was actually formed. But he was like he was credited to be the person that kind of started everything. And yeah, that is why we have the König Heinrich Platz, which is the King Henry Street.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
And I just since you look for the name for your city, I did the same, which I actually already did like a long time ago, but I tried to remind myself. So the word Duisburg, so Burg is actually like kind of like a castle kind of thing. So I thought maybe it coincidentally also means like Newcastle, but it's actually the Duis means like a wet area or a floodplain. So it's like the name Duisburg means like the castle in the floodplain.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Which is nice until you come here. Well, I mean, I'm in the nicer part of the city, so I can't really talk much. But I think, like, even my German friends, when I say to them like I live in Duisburg, they look at me funny and then like, and they were like being all sympathetic for like, oh, you live in Duisburg. Oh, like I mean, like my German friend, like not just another expat friend in Germany. It's like when my expat friend in Germany, because they mostly would know like, yeah, the usual Düsseldorf, Dortmund, Cologne, and probably Munich, Frankfurt, Berlin. So when they heard like Duisburg, so yeah, oh yeah, that is a new thing. That is a thing that I kind of heard when I go to the university from the other city, or when I go to that other city from the university.
Okay then.
Exactly. But it's also interesting, right? Like how some German cities, when they are translated to English, the name becomes really different.
Oh yeah.
Like Köln is translated into Cologne. Like somehow they just magic to like one more syllable, like Köln to Cologne. Cologne. And it's like exactly the spelling is exactly the cologne that we use for perfumes.
All right. Well, wouldn't that just because of pronunciation things or?
Yeah, probably the name came from other people first, like maybe from the French as usual.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yes. I mean, I know. Actually, no. It was. Actually, yeah, no. I think you just reminded me of like the most typical cases of Bangkok. Do you know the full name? Do you know the full name of Bangkok?
Yeah, I just learned that the other day. Yeah, so what is the full name of Bangkok?
I would never be able to pronounce that.
Yeah, it's Krung Tap Mahanakon. Yeah, probably that is not the correct way. That's not the correct way.
I mean, you have a more suitable accent than I do to pronounce it in the correct way. I mean, I'm not gonna attempt that. I only knew about this because Gaunt.
Yeah.
He was like talking about it on one of his streams or something like that. Someone clip it out.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, because he said like, okay, so let's see like the hypothetical situation, right? You are about to get stabbed by a robber, and then now you have to call the police, and then you have to give your full address so that the police can reach you, right? And then now, yeah.
I mean, I suppose they would just say Krun Tap and they would know anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, I think in the end it's just an anecdote, right? It's not like, yeah, I will like, because you also so it's basically like in Jakarta we also have that kind of not that similar of a problem, but Jakarta is divided into like 5 territories, like, yeah, basically north, south, west, east, and central. But it's like whenever you try to refer to Jakarta, you just say Jakarta. It's like, yeah, maybe if you live in Jakarta for a long time, then you will know that, okay, so I live in the West Jakarta. But if it's like you ask someone to send you something from other places, yeah, I will just put Jakarta in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, what is the difference anyway? It is kind of like the same city, but also not the same city.
Right. I see. Yeah. It's we have similar situations in Hong Kong. Not exactly like as what you said, but it concerns with like the underground stations. So like one thing that confused me when I was small was like I always thought that like Hong Kong was just another place within Hong Kong.
Mm.
And that's because one of the metro stations
Mm-mm.
was literally just named Hong Kong for whatever reasons. I actually still don't know why they do that, but it's like, I mean, that station was supposedly the international station, like, you know, like that one station where like everyone will pass through, like to get to the airport and stuff like that. Yeah, and then there's also this other station. It's literally just called University. Well, it makes sense because like that's the station. That's like that station was built specifically for that university at that spot, which is called the Hong Kong Chinese University. I once also tried to apply there. They never applied.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really big university, like the ones that like took up like a few of the hills and stuff like that. Like you literally need a coach to get around. Yeah, that big. My mom graduated from there, and we always have like some Christmas meals there because like they have one of the restaurants which what is it? Sorry, a bit of cold. But yeah, they have one of the restaurants which always had like a Christmas meal, and like if you graduate from that university, you'll get discounts. So my mom just always bring us there. When we were small, when we still believed that Santa Claus exists, because like that restaurant, they know that every time there will be children there, so they always have a segment where there will be someone pretending to be Santa Claus, and just like came in and started giving gifts, you know.
Oh no, Ayumu. What if the children hears this? Oh no. But yeah, I mean like now that you mentioned it, it kind of made sense. I mean like I literally when I go to the campus, the station is literally just Dortmund University, and it's also because specifically like when you get out, you have two universities. So like the place where I go to, like the University of Applied Science Dortmund and University of Technology Dortmund. Yeah.
Okay.
So that works.
Okay. Yeah.
That works. And then the TU Dortmund, so the Technological University of Dortmund is actually much bigger than ours. And yeah, basically, we say that we share the facilities, but it's like we were allowed by our TU Dortmund overlords to use their facilities instead. In my eyes, at least.
Okay.
So basically, we can use their library, we can use their canteen, which is nice. I like because now, one of our lifeline, the doner kebab.
Okay.
Yeah, the doner kebab. So the before the inflation, the market price for doner kebab in North Rhine-Westphalia, so my state where I live in, is around 4 euros. And after the inflation, it's around 6 euros.
Oh my god.
And then if you want an upgrade, there is this thing called the doner teller. So that is basically a doner plater, which has the doner meat slice as usual, and then salad, and either fries or rice instead of the bread.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now, usually when the market price is still 4 euros for the doner kebab, the doner teller would cost you around 7.5. Now it's 10.5.
Wow.
Yeah. And my uni kind of sell it for 5.6 if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Because I have an access to the menu of the canteen.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Let me just casually whip up the menu while I'm in the podcast right now because I fucking eat it every time.
Exactly. Like the one time I go to the university every 2 months.
every 2 months.
Every 2 months. Because
Yeah, and right now I'm literally passing by my university every day.
just casually.
Just casually. I mean, I pass by the library and pass by the main campus. Just because I have to go that way to get to my workplace. Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. As for me, my I live way, way too far from my campus, so I can't really just casually do that. But I heard like basically since being a student is kind of a welfare situation, I can just bring my student ID to other university and use their canteen as well. But yeah, I have not dared enough to try to do that. It just feels awkward, isn't it?
Oof.
I mean, yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, you're not flashing around your student card. No one knows which university you're in. Back when I was still studying, like, I was staying so like in Newcastle, we got Newcastle University and also Northumbria University, and like I was living at a place where I would literally have to pass through Northumbria University to get to my university. Well, no one gives a fuck. Everyone does that. It's a public ground, so. And like we would literally visit restaurants in Northumbria University because they're just much better. So like, yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, for my case, it's more just like because I'm not too used to being around new people. I mean, I have already received enough in my university since my year. Since it's a master course, I only have like 12 people in my course or something. So it's like I don't know too many people in the first place, and then now I'm in unfamiliar territory.
I mean, even if your course has like 100 people, you're not gonna know a lot of people anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was my course. I got like 100 people, and then right now I literally only keep in contact with like 2 of them. And like I met both of them in the same module, in the same seminar. For like during the last year. It wasn't even because I knew them since first year. So yeah. I mean, it's probably one of the reasons was just because I didn't give a shit in making new friends, which I kind of regret now because I actually need references. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like I mean I think this is normal because like I kind of can get the vibe from my dad, who's also a university professor. But like, you know, like when you're applying for jobs and then like they're asking you, we need an academic reference. And I was like, can I ask like my high school teachers? And they said, nope, you need the academic reference from the most recent degree you have. Like, shit, I haven't talked to any of my professors for like years now. So now I send like 3 to 4 emails, and like every time it's just like, sorry to email you out of the blue. I'm I'm Ayumu, who's I was in your seminar for like the last year of the course, which was like 1 year ago. I hope you remember me, and yeah. And I'm still waiting for the reply. Because I assume my email just went to the junk mail because Microsoft Outlook, I think they will like just like automatically filter anything that's not by like that the email address isn't from Outlook or something like that. Yeah, so I don't know. At the end I might have to find my manager instead. Which would be another kind of awkward. Just kill me now.
Yeah, I can relate to that because I always kills my professors as the well not really. I mean like in my bachelor I work in the student body, so it's like I know some people enough, and now I literally work under my professor. So yeah. Not
I mean,
that
yeah.
I'm kissing their ass or anything.
Yeah, the first person I went to was my supervisor who had been overlooking my work from like the last year, and like it was probably like the professor that not professor, let's say staff member that like I've interacted with the most. So I emailed him, and he did reply, and the reply I got was that he's no longer working in the university, so he's not qualified to write a reference for me.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a big oof.
Yeah, so like since I'm talking about this anyway, I mean I'm not sure how much of my advice will help, but like since my dad is also a professor, so I asked him, can you like share me some of the emails that he got to ask him for references, and he did, obviously. So usually what people would do is that because like judging from the emails, I assume like these people also haven't talked to my dad for a while already. So like they always open up, they always start the email with like how you doing, or like in the most formal way, I hope this email finds you well. And then obviously you have to state your name, like how you interacted with the professor, like I was in your seminar, etc., stuff like that. And then I see that a lot of them also like put in some compliments, if that makes sense. It's like saying like, oh, I found your lectures and seminars really useful, and stuff like I'm still using like your teaching materials today, stuff like that. And then yeah, you just literally just say that I need a reference. I suppose I think most professors will understand anyway, because like they probably also have gone through that process themselves. But yeah, even so, just like try to keep it a bit formal, like, because like obviously it's not like you haven't talked to them for a while, so you don't just want to just like send an email assuming that they remember you. They're not gonna remember you properly, because they're teaching like hundreds of people every year. So, and then my mom also suggested me that if you can visit the university, you might also want to knock on their door in person, so they can see you. Maybe they can remember you, they can also talk to you, stuff like that. And also in the email, like obviously try to attach your CV, and because like you want to keep them updated with like what you've been doing recently, obviously. And obviously also tell them like what's your reference for, what are you applying for, so they know like when they need to write about you, they know what kind of content they can relate to the job that you're looking for. So yeah, step into society, guys.
Exactly.
I don't like it.
What the?
Get me out of this fuck fest.
Yeah,
like my god, like at this point, like I'm only 22 years old. I can already teach you how to pay taxes. Why am I even doing this? Like literally, most of my friends wouldn't even know where to download a what's that called, a tax payment record for forms for stuff like that. And then there was me, who have been dealing with the same tax form 2021 to 2022 for more than a whole year, because the government fuck up somewhere. I almost lost £3,000 because of that.
Oh.
Yeah, so like about paying taxes, if you can afford the money, pay an accountant to like, well, don't have them to completely do everything for you, but at the very least, like, find someone who knows how to pay taxes and let them help you, because you will need that help. Like, if you had to pay them, do so. It'll be far better than losing thousands of dollars of whatever currency you're in, just to tell the government that you're working.
But that is another thing that I cannot relate, because my HR in my previous job kind of take cares of everything, and now I think the only good thing about Indonesian tax is if you don't have anything, if you are broke, then you actually don't need to fill that much. You basically just the HR gave me like, I mean, it's not HR, it's the accounting like the accounting division just gave me like this one piece of Excel, and then okay, so you fill on these forms based on this, and then the only thing that I have to fill in by myself is my asset, which I don't have because I spend all of them on all you can eat restaurants and card games. Yeah. So
yeah. I think most of the time, like if you're actually in a proper job, which I'm not because it's underpaid, but anyway, if you're in a proper job, like, I think most of the time, like the company will like report for you anyway, and it'll also be much easier because they'll be paying you through bank transfer apparently, so like you have the record and everything like that. So yeah, it'll be much easier. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say why I'm paying taxes. That probably would get too personal. But the thing is, I had to, and it was annoying. And I can finally understand why the internet people would say that why doesn't school teach you how to pay taxes? They need to teach you how to pay taxes. Seriously.
Yeah, but also the problem is we go to school in Indonesia and Hong Kong, and now we are living in a totally different country with totally different tax system. And now it's another can of worms open.
I don't know. I mean, in some sense, we're kind of like exceptions, you know. Most people, still gonna stay in the same places. But like, even if not, okay. Here's the thing. At least in Hong Kong, we have this subject called I just can't remember, sociology or whatever. But like, it's something related to politics in Hong Kong. But basically, like, it was the class where they teach us the government system, what kind of people are in there, like their positions and stuff like that, which I can never remember because it was boring as fuck, and I was only 12 years old and I understood no shit. And I think they should have continued this subject, or at least extend it to like a compulsory economic course, something like that, which teach you how to pay taxes, like how the money system works, or maybe even teach you like how to, like how to calculate your salary, like what is the minimum wage, stuff like that. That would be so much. That would be so much more helpful. I mean, I'm not saying like the science and math stuff like that are useless, but like if you have to add one subject to it, to the school system, this would be the one subject that I want to add. Like even later on you're gonna live in a different country, I'm sure that like some kind of knowledge is going to help you, isn't it? Like at least you're not going in blind, At least you're not going to be like, oh, I have to pay taxes now. I never knew that, That was literally me. Like my mom was like, you have to pay taxes now. So here's the website on the UK government. I never tried it before, so I can't help you. You're going to have to look it up yourself. God, that was hell.
Next year will be fun because now I am still a student, so I'm exempt from taxes. But next year will probably not be as fun. And hopefully I'll get some prize money from the finance arm. But yeah, I kinda understand that. I mean, like instead of doing things like religion, which is a big thing in Indonesia, and I was like, whenever I have my religion exam, it was like, yeah, why am I doing this? This is not. I mean, like, we always complain like stuff in school is not used in real life. It's like religion is probably, at least for us Catholics, it was the most apparent. Like, you don't even use this in the church. Like, why are we even?
Okay. I think here's the thing. I think that like everything you learn
Mm-mm.
will be useful one way or another, like in your life. Like for example, maths. Like people have been asking, why are we learning algebra? Why are we learning, graphs and everything like that? I mean, sure, like you won't be using the exact function that you learned, but like it's like, but you're very much already adapted to the mind process to use that function, and that is what's important for you in your life. And like so like algebra, for example, like algebra, like you have all the substitutions, a plus b equals c, and now you have to find a, b, and c. It's like we're not telling you to literally find a, b, and c again, like somewhere in your life, but like we're telling you to use the process that use the the process that you try to find the numbers to apply it into real life. And I think it's the same with religion. Like at the very foundation, religion is just philosophy, really. So, and like even though I'm an atheist, I actually like from time to time, I still like to listen to like how do you say Simon's
sermons. Yeah,
sermons. Yes, there we go. So I still like to listen to like sermons, like I mean, I don't visit the local church myself, but like on YouTube, like there's always gonna be one priest or two who like to talk about their own stories. I find those interesting, and I also find them quite meaningful. Like obviously there will be things that I don't agree with them, like they say, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I I think like he helped me with these kind of stuff, but like I mean, I'm not gonna like go along with it and say yes, I believe in Jesus Christ now. But it's like some of the mindset which he gives out, which they give out through their stories, that is worth learning. And I think that what religion lessons should have been about. But the thing with these kind of lessons now is that a lot of them is that became like just like a brainwashing program from the school. Like literally all they do is they make you read the Bible, and they don't even explain to you what they're trying to convert there. So yeah, is it useless? I don't think so. But it's like, again, it's just like everything else. It's like it's the problem of the education system, really. Yeah, I mean, I can firmly say this because I've been in Christian schools for my whole life until I entered university. Like literally, I was in a Christian school. Like, okay, apologies if I got anything wrong, because I can't differentiate between like the Christian religions. But I know that like in different, I know that in the schools that I attended, they are in like different Christian religions. Yeah. So, but like basically, kindergarten, primary school, secondary school. I moved schools during secondary school. So I attended 2 secondary schools, and all 4 of these schools, they were all Christian religion based. Yeah. So like I learned a lot of those stuff about the Bible, and even though like I used to believe in God, I don't now. I still think that like some of the lessons are really like helping me through like with my life and stuff like that. So yeah, religion is actually useful.
Now that you mention it, actually no. I mixed up my memories a little bit, because before I go to my Catholic high school, I actually went to other schools before, and yeah, I think I got that mixed up. Because actually, what I find like my experiences after I moved to a Catholic school, the religion lesson is actually more interesting, because we get to the politics, like how we actually like. It's actually like the one that you wanted with Texas, but it's like they kind of talk about like how, like for example, like how if you want to marry in the Catholic Church, like. Because if you wanted to marry in the church, of course you have to marry with another Catholic. That is a given, right?
Right.
But they also like talk about like So what if, for example, you want to marry a Protestant, which is also a Christian, but they are not Catholics? Can you do that? Also no.
Yeah.
But they then have another section for marrying a person of whole other religion. Then that is kind of then you just go to the like basically in Indonesia you just go to the registration office and you do that. So you cannot do that in the church, but yeah, you know what you don't do in front of God, yeah, you can do whatever you want. and then my religion teacher actually talks briefly about the crusade, so that is actually also something that that is also something that is not, because our history lessons is mostly Indonesian history lessons, so it's like, and in every level they basically repeat that from the beginning, so it's always from the Hindu Buddhist kingdoms, and then enters the Muslim kingdoms, and then enter like the Portuguese, the English, and then the Dutch, and then the Japanese, and then the Dutch tries to take us back, and then we fight the Dutch, and then we gain independence, and then all the not fun stuff that we have done in the past. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to our neighbors, and that have been hurt by us in the past. I know that I cannot do anything to alleviate that, but
atone the sins. I mean, any logical person wouldn't find you to atone our ancestors' sins anyway. I mean, it's the whole lesson with Attack on Titan again. You weren't there. You shouldn't be bearing the sins. Okay, that's the thing. But yeah. Yeah, history lessons are also very interesting, actually. It also obviously depends on countries. So in Hong Kong, we do have two kinds of history lessons. One of them we call the Chinese history, and then the other one we just call the Western history. And like I think both of them were interesting. Like I actually quite like history lessons myself. But again, like okay, for this one, I understand like why they have to teach like certain points of the history, because obviously that will be more important than I don't know, like telling you how the guy was pooping himself in this episode and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously they talk about the politics and everything, like how, you know, everyone around the emperor, they're not his friends because they're always going for the siege and everything like that. And like it all goes around the loop because like every dynasty, they do the same thing. That was what bored the shit out of me. Like I want to learn about how the people live, like not all those greedy nobles doing like in the palace and stuff like that. So like the Western history was far more interesting for me because for one, they talk about different countries. It's not just one country. So there are a lot more variants in there, but like at this point, the only one I can remember was actually the French Revolution. Yeah, we actually learned about that in Hong Kong. I suppose it can be interesting for some people. Like, whoa, you learn about other countries? Whoa, you know. Yeah, and like actually, a lot of us were also very intrigued in the subject. But like we weren't happy about it because they were teaching Western history in Chinese. So like there wasn't. So like the problem was that we couldn't remember all the names. So like if you know Japanese, you know how the Japanese spelled out foreign names.
Yeah.
It's the same in Chinese. Like the words don't make sense piecing up together, so it's very hard for us to remember. So it's like yeah, so can you like teach us in English, please? And then like the school said no, because we don't have any history teachers that are good enough in English.
Oh.
Yeah, and over here in the UK, we actually learned almost nothing about the UK itself. Because so like for those who don't know, in the UK, we during the high school we do the course that we do is called GCSE. Yeah, and then the history lessons were mostly about the First World War and the Second World War.
Of course.
Which obviously Britain was involved, but like it's not directly about Britain, you know. And then for some reasons, we learn about the American history.
Okay.
So like the 1921 economic boom, the Depression, you know, stuff like that. Like and then like this one was actually interesting to me, which was basically the conflict between the Israeli and the Palestinians.
Oh.
Yeah. We actually learned about that, and I actually found that quite interesting because I actually never knew about the conflict before that. And I'm not gonna state my opinion on that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it was interesting to learn about that history.
I see.
Yeah, and yeah, that was literally history class in the UK. We learned nothing about Queen Mary or King Henry VIII or stuff like that.
Yeah.
If anything, I learned all of that in my university classes. Because like when we talk about English literature, really like any kind of like literature classes, obviously you're not gonna study the very, very modern literature. So like we usually study like the older ones, like as far back as Beowulf, which was literally before the 10th century when they weren't even using modern English. They were using Old English, which was more similar to German than with the modern English. That was very interesting. I love it so much. And then interestingly, we didn't learn any Shakespeare. As you know, we did one or two, but like Shakespeare wasn't the focus. It was just like one of the many books that we had to read. Probably because they already expected you to learn Shakespeare in high school, which we didn't. We learned American what's that? I can't remember the word. No, comprehensive novels or whatever it's called.
What?
Basically American literature for whatever reason. Yeah, it's like the British government just wanna shove all the history under the rug and say, here's America, which you know, they also speak English, so you can learn about them instead.
Interesting.
But like in the university, I also learn about Victorian novels. That one was interesting because because I chose this module, which I can't remember the exact name, but to keep it short, it's about sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the instrument saxophone, or?
You know what I mean.
Yes.
It's literally about writing sexual activities.
Okay.
And like, I mean, I'm a guy and I'm a horny fuck, so I chose that one. But it was actually, I mean, obviously, I expected it not to be, you know, very inappropriate, and I would actually turn out to be very interesting because we actually learn about erotic novels in Victorian era, and like they were stuff that you literally wouldn't even consider to be erotic in today's standards. For example, you're gonna be surprised. Dracula, was an erotic novel. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, because but like everything was so subtle that like you wouldn't even consider it to be mild by today's standard, but like it was a very big thing back then. Because like Victorian era, you know, it's being conservative and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So like when people are trying to write about these kind of things, they won't say, like they won't say stuff like the main character and the female character went to bed and actually did stuff.
Mm-mm.
They will hint at it.
Mm.
So like you can imagine it's an anime trying not to be a hentai.
Yeah.
That's you can try to think about it that way.
Yeah.
And then and like it's very interesting to see how they try to use like all kinds of description just to get around the conservative culture of like the Victorian era. And then like for example, like back in Dracula, they would say that like Dracula sucking your blood is actually trying to imply that they're sucking something else. That's literally the analysis that we go. I'm not even joking. But yeah, it's things like that, and that was actually very interesting. So yeah, that was my literature course in high school, not high school, university. Yes, English literature is very interesting, and I didn't regret choosing it.
I see. Because for us, we have our own Indonesian literature. So we don't really touch other countries' literature.
Mm.
And then for world history, we only cover mostly the World War, because it's finally basically the Japanese was about to get us independent because they want more allies. And then, of course, Japan lost the war, so they cannot do it. And then the Dutch came back, and then we pushed them back. Or basically, we didn't push them back. We just held them long enough for the UN to say no. No, these guys don't want to be under you. You guys need to stop this.
Interesting. Yeah, the UN did absolutely nothing.
Exactly. They asked the Dutch nicely to leave us.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not wrong, like the nationally we consider our Independence Day to be the 17th of August, 1945.
Mm-hmm.
But as I know, internationally, thanks to the UN, finally telling the Dutch to politely telling the Dutch to leave us, which is around 1947. If I'm not wrong, let me see. I already forgot my own. I have already forgot my own history.
Shouldn't be earlier though, because the World War II ended in 1945.
Yeah. So basically, after 1945, we fought the Dutch for like 1 or 2 years, and then finally it is recognized as independent at 27 December 1949. So we fought the Dutch for 4 years. Before, I think maybe in the I don't really remember the history, but it's probably just the English saying like, yeah, we have done this for 4 years. It's time to cut our losses.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because we have been trained basically by the Japanese so that we can be their allies, right? So it's like, yeah, I guess the Dutch needed some external help also because they did not previously officially occupy us. So now they needed the help of the British to kind of take us back. And yeah, that's probably just the British trying to cut their losses.
Yeah, makes sense. They did have a big loss after that.
Yeah. Because I think only the US actually gains from World War II, right? In the end, because everybody bought their weapons from them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I can't remember much from that. Yeah, but like, yeah, I know the US was literally just sitting beside, just like eating their money until Japan spit on them.
Yeah.
And they're like, now I'm angry.
I'm angry.
Now I'm angry. I just always imagine in like a very comedic way. It's like how Germany was like facing like 3 countries at once, and then like first you got Italy, which was literally just that take their butt up and like ran away, and then Germany's like, Japan, help us, and Japan's like, sure. And then they spat on the US.
We will help you by awakening the ally of your enemies. People try to understand the world map in 1945. Challenge impossible.
Yeah. You tried.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That reminds me of that video. Like the the one that like just like briefly explaining the world history thing. Like it's a very long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the history of the whole world, right?
The history of the whole world. Yes, there we go. Yeah, I love that. The history of the world. I guess that's the video thing.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. It's like, what about me? that time where the Japanese attacks the US, it's like, what about we attack you instead?
No.
Oh my goodness.
A nuclear. Boom.
Boom.
And
what about another one? And another one.
Oh yeah, they also made like the history of Japan one. I love that one too. So it's so good. So good. Photoshop to this best.
Yeah. If only they made another one. But I think other countries' history is either too short or too long.
Sorry?
I mean, like the history of other countries is either too short or too long. The Japanese history is kind of just right if you wanted to make those kind of videos, I feel. Like especially
maybe because it's also less complicated,
Yeah.
Because like Japan, like from the beginning to the end is
it's basically the same country.
Yeah, but like you got stuff like the United Kingdom, Germany, but the US, they were like they weren't the country it is now before, So like I suppose that would be like much more complicated to try to make a full history lesson about it.
Yeah. I mean, like even in Indonesia, at one point there is one kingdom that has the like their territory spans all the way from Indonesia to Thailand, and then one day their leaders died, and then it's just gone. It's gone. It's like literally like that South Park episode is just like, and it's gone. Like they have they have a literal empire and it's gone.
What I also found very interesting is how there were so many European countries made after the first World War, Second World War. I think it was after the First World War. It's like Europe is like a piece of glass, and then someone decided to hammer it, and then every glass piece is a country.
Okay,
that's literally how all the European countries exist now. Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like it's such a mess, basically.
Explaining European history as a non-European, challenge impossible. Like literally impossible.
Yeah, like it took me so long to even realize the difference between United Kingdom, Great Britain, and the 4 countries within it.
Yes.
It took me so long. I don't even know how.
Yeah, I know.
I actually still can't. Like, I know what's the Kingdom. I can't remember what Great Britain is. I think Great Britain refers to the geographic location. Like the island is Great Britain. I think that's how they put it that way. And then United Kingdom is like the political way of referring to all 4 countries together
Mm-mm.
or something like that. And then what is it? Okay, so like England, Wales, and Scotland, these 3 are easy to remember.
Mm-mm.
The 4th one is the complicated one, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Or Republic of Ireland. I still don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Northern Ireland is part of the UK, and then Ireland is a country.
Yeah, and I think it's Republic of Ireland is the country.
Mm-mm.
And like the most annoying thing is like the Republic of Ireland isn't even the whole island
Mm-mm.
on the
Yes.
left because Northern oh my god, because Northern Ireland for whatever reason is part of England.
Uh-uh.
Fuck my life.
Exactly.
No, okay, no. I know the history is not like unreasonable, but like
Mm-mm.
so hard to remember, man.
Yeah.
But like I suppose on the other hand, it's like it's the same for all the other countries. Like people keep asking me, what's the difference between Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, and Macau? Actually, people don't even know Macau exists. Okay, yeah, they only know China, they only know Taiwan, they only know Hong Kong. These 3 places, and they always ask me because they want some peanuts.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like they always ask me, is Taiwan a country? And it's like,
let's not step into that.
I mean, I just give the most objective answer. Some countries think it is, some don't.
Mm-mm.
That's literally my answer. And then
then
you know,
fair
they would
enough.
just like ask me, how did it? Why is Hong Kong so special? It doesn't have the same law as mainland China. And it's like, fuck. I mean, it was easy enough for me to explain, but like, you know, you can see from these questions, like we wouldn't know anything about any other countries that we don't live in, basically. So yeah, but yeah, I actually love learning world history as well, just to see like, you know, how they came to be, like how they're working now and stuff like that. It actually, like, okay, I actually thought, like, until last year, I always thought that the Mayan people have extinct.
Oh.
But no, like Maya doesn't exist, but the Mayan people are still around.
Yeah.
They just like living in like in places like Mexico or Peru right now. They just don't have their own country, but like that kind of people is still here. And that was kind of a mind-blowing moment for me.
Interesting. Oh well, let's look at the time now. We went all the way from reminiscing our days in high school to speaking extensively about our limited knowledge on the World War. So yeah, anyway, we are sorry if we misaddressed anything. Yeah, as you can see, my knowledge in world history is limited. As an Indonesian, because we have too much on our own plate. So well, anyway, let's next time maybe we should talk about something lighter like anime or something. Anime movies.
Anime boobies.
Okay. Well, anyway,
we'll talk about the movies and we talk about the boobies.
Exactly. So yeah, as usual, I think if you have any questions that you want to ask us, whether it is about Battle Spirits, trading card games in general, Battle Spirit Saga, I need to say that separately, of course, or just life in general, you can send all your questions to the refreshtabpodcast@gmail.com. We might not be able to answer everything, but yeah, we will try to address what we can address.
Actually, I have to say one thing right now.
Yes.
Because I have to correct myself. The Republic of Ireland isn't part of the United Kingdom. I just googled it up. So yeah, sorry guys, but at least I know now. But yes, continue.
Yes. And yeah, I guess with Ayumu has been correcting himself, and I have put a late disclaimer that my knowledge of the world is limited. I think that's all for today. We hope that you guys had a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next turn. Bye bye.
Bye bye.